All right, hello everybody. I'm Mike Obi.
I'm Nick Washington.
Thank y'all for tuning in. So Nick, let's just go ahead and get it started. How we get it started? How we get here?
We got here. So we used to work at the neighborhood gym, and whenever you would come in for a shift, or I was coming in for a shift, we would just kind of stay after a little while and chop it up about different things and different topics. Um, you know, and then we kind of started getting people that were in the gym working out, chiming in and saying, hey, this is my opinion, or you guys have like a good view on things, or whatever the case may be. Um, and so, we just kind of started having these big conversations about different topics. And then, like I said, I think it was Ryan who suggested that we like started like a TV show, but that's not going to happen. But like,
Never know, but we're gonna start with this first, and we'll see where this takes us. But yeah, man, I remember. Yeah, he chimed in because he used to always, hear us through his office, and I guess we were loud or whatever. But he used to come by and be like, "Man, I love hearing y'all talk. Y'all are so entertaining." This, that, and the third, and the next thing you know, we were just talking about stuff we had on our mind. I mean, we didn't really ever think that people would really get an interest in it. The next thing you know, people would stop their workouts and they'd start chiming in about, oh, well, what do y'all think of this? Or what do y'all think of that? And so then that's when I think both of us kind of came to the realization, like, we got something, at least as far as our worldview and what we talk about. Um, and I mean, I think one thing that sets us apart is that uh, we can agree to disagree, and we actually like the fact that we don't have the same views on everything because it kind of helps us, as they say, iron sharpen iron, and
mhm.
it helps us kind of see the world and everything from a different perspective.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Because it is harder to have conversations with some people, nowadays, because everybody makes things personal, or, everybody's kind of, I guess, sensitive. I think that, um, you know, the way the world has it become, people have become a lot more sensitive to things that make everything personal. So it's good to be able to have a conversation, with people for the most part that don't make it personal or don't get offended by things and can just sit here and have a logical conversation.
No,
Um,
absolutely. It's just it's a very my way or the highway type of thinking these days, man. And it's unfortunate it starts at the top, but I just think that if people were able to kind of listen to another person's perspective, it help, first off help us kind of heal the divide and the sort of standoffishness that we see go on these days. I mean, I know for me, I love it when I hear people's perspective that are different than mine because then, if anything, it either strengthens my argument or it helps me see things from a different perspective. If I just think with the same like-minded people, I mean, the way I think might be wrong is the way I see it. And if I'm wrong, I don't want to just, never improve on my way of thinking. I'd rather hear a different perspective and then need to say, okay, well, here's my rebuttal to that. Or, okay, I didn't see it that way. Now there are certain things we're just gonna have to agree to disagree on. And I get that with life, but at the same time, I always like to hear different people's perspectives. That's why I think me having conversation, there's a lot you can learn just through human interactions. And for me, I always feel like I've done my best learning, outside of school is just when I'm just sitting back and chopping it up with people, because everybody has a different worldview. Everybody hasn't experienced things the same way, and so just understanding a different person's logic can help me either improve mine or sharpen mine.
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
Now,
it, I mean, it is what it is. Some people gonna disagree, some people gonna agree. Um, but being able to have like communication, being able to communicate with somebody is something that I feel is kind of getting lost. With the digitate I'm not even
it
gonna
out, brother. Sound it out. You good?
bringing in technology, even
Yeah.
though it's beneficial, um, it kind of, for some people, hinders their ability to communicate.
Yeah.
So used to communicating through computers and phones. So then when it's time to sit down and have a conversation, they struggle. You know, they get offended easily, or stuff like that. Is just tech has its benefits, but at the same time, if you're not going out and socially interacting and actually having face to face or real conversations, not over phones or technology,
Mhm.
then kind of gonna be put at a disadvantage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think with this whole social media generation and everything, people kind of gravitate towards things, like I said, that they want to see or want to hear. They don't want to ever see somebody who thinks differently to them. And then anytime they do see something that's different, is a very sort of predatory mindset that, hey, look, you think differently than me, so you're stupid, or you're this or you're that. I mean, definitely technology has its benefits. We have access to information way quicker than we've ever had it, but then also is false information's out there, or information that is skewed, can kind of alter a person's belief, or for a person who just sees things and doesn't really take the time to, see it through, or see the big picture, or even do their own research and find their own evidence.
Mhm.
People can be very easily influenced, and I think that's just unfortunate.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you can't. Tech has helped, and the web and all that has helped with being able to get information and getting information a lot quicker than it has in the past. But not all information is good information. So
Absolutely.
take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Going on to the next thing, man. COVID-19 has been, a pandemic that has affected a lot of people's lives. People have lost their lives. People have lost their jobs. People are having to deal with being quarantined. I was talking to my dad a couple of days ago, and one thing he kind of said that I never really thought about was the fact that this is the first time a lot of human beings have gone through a pandemic. To where their livelihoods are being taken away from them. You're having to sit and be quarantined, and people really have never had to deal with that. Everything has been so accessible. People have been able to, for the most part, do what they want with their lives. Be able to go to work, be able to go to the gym, be able to go get food. Like, all those things are now being taken away from them. And for me, it was very interesting just seeing how the world reacted to it, how people reacted to it. Um, it's almost a violation, kind of. You go out in public and you can't even look at people the same way for a lot of them. Um, but I mean, it's definitely been a trying time and a trying couple months. But just talk about what you think of this whole coronavirus, and how it's affected your life, and what you've seen.
I mean, me, it hasn't affected things too much. I mean, yeah, some things have kind of been delayed and everything like that. But for a lot of people, I think that it's kind of made or broken, different relationships and even just people, because their whole life and their regular schedule of maybe going to the gym in the morning, going to work, then after work going to hang out with some friends, go to dinner or whatever, then go home. Your whole schedule is kind of disrupted, and for a lot of people that's kind of hard to deal with, especially if you went out and bought a house, or you went and bought yourself a Mercedes or some bullshit. Now you got payments that still due. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, life goes on.
Because of Corona, and but now I'm not working. So now I was good. I bought my Mercedes or whatever, and it's like I only had 3 grand in my bank account, but I knew I was gonna get some more money next whenever I got paid. But now you're not working, and you
Yeah,
still, and then so it's kind of um, it's breaking a lot of people. But I think that for the people who kind of learn from it and understand, they are realizing that some of the stuff that they have they don't really need. Um, so they're kind of learning how to prioritize things better.
mhm,
Uh, uh, yeah, they're learning how to prioritize things better, and then people in relationships, it's gonna be kind of a test on your relationship, especially if y'all living together, because you like I said, you're used to spending that time apart, but now you guys are together 24/7. So if you can't deal with it, it might be hard for some people, but like I said, it's gonna make or break you, and you'll live and learn, hopefully.
absolutely. I mean, I think for me, one thing I've seen is that, uh, you know, people tend to live 100 miles an hour these days. I mean, everything is about getting to the next errand, the next thing, the next chore, the next job, the next whatever they got going on. And so for them to go on this sort of hamster wheel type culture where it's just you're going 100 miles an hour. Now all of a sudden you're just stopping, and it's just like, all right, you got to just sit in the house and not necessarily do nothing, but you can't leave like you used to be able to. You can't just go out and live life frivolously as you once could. I mean, I think that was a big testament. That was a big thing for a lot of people just to have to adapt. Not going to the gym. I mean, a lot of people these days work out, and then it's just like you no longer have access to a gym. So now, if you use the gym as sort of therapy, like a lot of people do, like I do, you don't have that accessible to you. So you have to find alternative means to, either deal with mental health or keep yourself in shape, keep your mind healthy, keep your body healthy. So that means you really had to look into your diet, look into your lifestyle choices. Okay, what you kind of get the opportunity to take a step back and say, okay, how is it? How has my life been? What have I been doing good? What have I been doing wrong? You not have to sit and live with those thoughts and those actions, because if not, first off, your body will get out of shape really quickly. And I think, for the most part, no matter how much people try, if you're not the celebrity or the person who has access to the certain materials like a home gym, like certain athletes like LeBron and people of that nature, that you have to really look at, okay, how can I adapt my living situation to a point where I don't fall off too much, if at all. I know for me, I had to get into running every day, and I just had to, get into meditating, really discipline, because for me, I'm a big person into, energy and, you know, uh, making sure my mind is clear. And it's like I don't have the gym for therapy anymore. So I think for a lot of people, being able to kind of find different things to find solace in was going to be a big adjustment. I know I was working at the time, and I worked at a place that sold fitness equipment, and it was just like people coming in there just hoarding and hoarding and hoarding it like they did toilet paper. They were like, dude, there's no way I cannot have nothing to work out with, and it was just crazy to see how quickly this stuff was gone. So, it's that, but I think also for me and for a lot of people that I talk to, it's like that when you go out and you start to take life in, you kind of have a greater appreciation for it. I think that's one good thing that came out of the whole coronavirus. Like people are faced with their mortality now. Like it used to be, okay, people were feeling invincible. They can do whatever they want whenever they want it. And now you're stuck with this disease that can take you, and you don't know who has it. You don't know who you came in contact with. If you don't trace your steps, if you're not in P's and Q's, it can get you like that. It can get your loved ones like that. And so people really just had to kind of have an appreciation for the life they're given, just being grateful to wake up every day and not look at what they don't have, but look at what they do have. While people might say, oh, I don't have a job, or I don't have the money that I was making, I have my life. And that's something that a lot of people today can't say.
Yeah, yeah, no. I think that for the people that are out there that didn't or aren't trying to take it something positive out of this, or taking this time that they have not working or having to travel or whatever the case may be,
Mm.
um, doing something to try and benefit, whether that's trying to eat better, or start cooking at home because you eat out all the time. um, getting, back into health and fitness and stuff like that, um, learning a new skill, picking up a new hobby. If you're just sitting around wasting time, to me, you kind of just gonna end up in the same spot that you were in the first place, if not worse. But
Absolutely.
this is kind of a correction for everybody. A lot of industries, are being corrected because you know we've been on this kind of uphill run for a long time, and now everybody's kind of getting shot back and taking a step back and making that correction. And I believe that if you're not making that correction, personally, or trying to better yourself while you can, while you have this off time or this off period, you're wasting it really. And it's sad, to be honest, because it, like you said, we were all moving too fast.
Mhm.
People were moving too fast. Businesses were kind of moving too fast. Everything was just moving too fast, and we just thought that everything was good. And this is kind of shooting us back and like, hey, things can go bad, and that's something that a lot of people forget about. Um, and now when things get bad, people kind of forget that things will get better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So not taking that time while things are bad to try and propel yourself into when things get better, then to me you're kind of wasting time. So uh, I hope that people are out there kind of doing something, you know what I'm saying, to better themselves or something like that. So
Yeah, for sure. This life is what you make it. I mean, you can choose to sit back and feel sorry for yourself, or you can choose to adapt and keep it moving. In the end, the world waits for nobody. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for us. We just have to make do with what we can, and make the best of the situation. Everybody's going through it. The whole part of it being a pandemic is that the whole world is affected. It's not just one city or one state or one country. The entire world population has been affected by it. So I mean, it's just something that we have to be thankful that we have another day to do something. But
yeah.
speaking of picking up new hobbies and new habits, have you picked up anything new through this pandemic? Any new hobbies? Got into anything?
Not really. I mean, I didn't kind of, done a couple of like projects around the house.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I thought kind of like learn Spanish. I mean, I kind of, but I want to be able to like be fluent. So I don't know. I just haven't had the time to be honest. But you know,
You gotta build that consistency, man. No, but I feel you. I mean, I was the same way. I tried to, I downloaded the Duolingo app and I was doing that twice a day. I was getting notifications. And I picked up on that for a little while. And then, I mean, I'm a person who eats a lot of oatmeal, and we had all these buckets of oats downstairs. So in the kitchen, so I just was like, let me try to pick up something. Let me try to learn how to make something. So I started just making cookies and stuff. And first go around, I ain't had no baking soda, so them jobs was extremely stiff, and it was just one of those things. Practice makes perfect. My most recent go around. But yeah, man, I the first couple rounds of the cookie, really the first round of the cookie, uh,
I
they ain't come out so good, man. That was a little stiff, but then I added the baking soda, ran it back, and like practice makes perfect. They coming out pretty good, so hit them a couple times, and then made brownies one time, made a fettuccine alfredo. So I mean, just trying to acquire skills.
saw that Alfredo. I was like, I'm finna come over there and you need to bring me a plate outside or something, dog.
As long
'Cause
as you maintain social distancing and you wore a mask, you've been good. But hey, it's all gone now.
the sidewalk, I would have just drove by and picked it up.
Leave that John on the floor for you. But I mean, at least I decided to do something like that, brother Takashi 69.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you got something to say? I know you like him, right?
When have you ever heard me talk about that nigga? First of all,
At the job, whenever he snitched the first time.
look, I
Look,
can't
let's
record.
say, dog. Come on.
I can't record what I'm finna say about that dude. All I'm gonna say is what you did is your decision. I don't agree with it. Um, but don't think you're gonna come out. You're gonna come out of prison and then you just gonna be, you know, accepted back into the music industry, the music family. Like, nah.
Man, I mean, nigga, true. But it's what it is. So now with the country reopening, though, how do you think that's going to bode? I know Texas, we're reopening slowly but surely. I know they just reopened all our gyms in the area. So, what you think of us reopening right now?
I mean, people kind of already just running back out there like we haven't found a vaccine or a cure to this virus, so it's not like it's gone. People think that everything's everything's back open and it's lifted and whatever, and so they think that they can just go back to their normal lives, but everybody wants to kind of get back to that normal, but at the same time, you're gonna have to kind of take these same precautions as you were when we were on like lockdown or like stay at home or whatever. Um, because, like I said, until there's a vaccine or something, whatever, to kind of that we can all get, so that we can kind of keep a hold or keep track of this virus, then I'm not going nowhere. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Food, I'll go through drive through to get some food. I'll go home, or I'm going to certain places.
Right.
But I'm not just gonna be out there, like I was until I know, you know, they have a hold on it. Because right now they don't have a hold on it, but they just can't. They're not. I mean, they could if they wanted to, but they're trying not to keep businesses closed and all of that.
Right.
So, but at the same time, like I said, it's still out there. So I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean it's a risk. I mean people have to decide whether it's worth going out there right now. I mean I think they opened the state up a little prematurely. That's just my opinion. Um, but at the end of the day, people are uh, most of these people are adults who make their own decisions, and so you have to live with the risk. And if you decide to go out there, just be safe, maintain social distancing, and just wait this out. And if everybody does their part, we'll hopefully continue to rein it in the virus, and hopefully not as many people will uh, be harmed. The one thing we don't want to happen is another spike, and then they got to shut it back down again. See,
Well,
so because then people really gonna be tripping because it's just like you just gave us our freedom back, and now you're telling us that we have to shut down again. Um,
because like I said, people out here already rushing back like it's nothing, like it's gone. The virus is gone, but it's not. So there's definitely, I think there's definitely going to be another jump in, but
yeah,
won't be me.
I mean again, there are a lot of people who feel invincible and don't want to really take it seriously. And again, that's their decision. We can not like it, but in the end of the day, they have to live with it. And you know, for me, like you said, I ain't trying to go nowhere if I don't have to. I'm still gonna wear my mask and make sure I disinfect everything I touch and everything that I buy from the store. Just because you don't know, the whole thing with the social distancing order is the fact that it's not really so much about you not getting it. I mean, that's a part of it too, but you have to take the mindset that you have it and you don't want to spread it, because this isn't a virus like Ebola, where Ebola you had it and your symptoms went basically start immediately, and Ebola was a very efficient virus from the standpoint it killed you off. But outside of that, what you snacking on during the quarantine, man?
I mean, I like Sour Patches. I've been eating a whole lot of Sour Patches.
You
Probably,
sour, man.
yeah,
No, that's from
probably
John.
some cookies, the regular shit.
Yeah.
But I've really just been chilling, watching TV and stuff like that. But
What you watching?
I just started the new season of Billions because they just came out. They just started what 3 weeks ago.
Mm.
So I've been watching that. Before that, I don't remember what I was watching, just stuff on TV. But
No. No, I mean sweet tarts. They have these ropes they sell, and man, them Jones is good, bro.
they got
Huh?
they have ropes.
Yeah, sweet tart ropes. You can get them at HEB, you can get them at Walmart. They got all different types of flavors, man. I go and I snack on those while I'm studying for my GRE or while I'm watching my Netflix shows. And hey, man, things is good. But now that we're starting to regain reality, I gotta lay off the candy, man. Stuff, sugar, it's not good for us. And then outside of that, I mean, I drink a glass of red wine on weekends, just get a little alcohol in me. I don't drink like I was before my birthday. What'd you say?
Alcoholic.
I don't know, man. Leave that alone, bro. No, I ain't. Only drank on weekends and for my birthday. That was it.
Oh yeah, live your life.
Right? You only get it once. If there ain't nothing this pandemic taught us, you got one life. You better live it right. So But just doing that, and as far as TV shows, I mean, I was watched Money Heist, finished that in like 4 days. That John was wild, and then Ozark. Ozark was cool. It starts off real slow. It's one of those shows you have to invest in, but once you're going and once you're into it, I mean, it's lit. Outside of that, watch the new Wild and Out, and really those are the main shows. I watched this new Michael Jordan documentary, of course. It was good and real informative. I watched it by myself, and then I watched it again with my dad. My dad kind of filled me on the historical context of it all, and he's like, "I remember this. I remember this. I remember this. This is what was going on during that time." It was crazy because my dad and my mom lived in Detroit at the time that the Pistons had won their two championships, and so he lived the era before Mike won it, and then they were here in Houston when the Rockets won the two championships. So he was telling me about how it was crazy being a part of those two cities that won outside of the Bulls dynasty. But he always tells me, he's like, man, that,
When fucking the Rockets or the Texans going, or even the fucking Astros at this point, when that's gonna happen again. So
no, man. Apparently, Astros were illegitimate champions, which I mean to me is bullshit. But we'll talk about that on another day. I mean, don't get me on that whole thing. I mean, listen. All I'm gonna say about it today is, if we're gonna act like they're the only people who cheated, I mean, I think we're doing some real revisionist shit right now. I mean, honestly, everybody cheats. If they're not gonna take the Patriots championships away, if they're not gonna take the Red Sox championships away, I don't want to hear nothing about who they need to go to Houston and take the rings away, take the trophies away. Everybody cheats, man. It's just the fact that, first off, these fools are apologetic about it. And when people apologize these days, bro, it just makes people only want to add on and try to get more out of you. People aren't okay with just saying, "Hey, look, y'all caught us, my bad." I'd rather you give a program or give a team the death penalty. I'd rather you revoke the franchise than to be like, "Oh, you're illegitimate champions," because in my mind, you can't unwin stuff in your head. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. You can't undo the business that they got from winning it. You can't go to academy or tell all these people who made these sales, "Oh, now that doesn't count anymore." No, that should happen. You should have caught them before they won the championship. Otherwise, I mean, hey, you just got to live with it. You can hate them, you can asterisk it all you want, but in the end, they won the championship. You can hate it or love it. It's what it is. You can have your opinions about the Astros, but I mean, if we're not gonna hold everybody to the same standard, I don't want to hear that, honestly. And that's all I gotta say about it today. As far as them Texans, I'm officially a free agent fan. I'm no longer a Texas fan. They traded my boy D Hop, and that was the last straw, man. I mean, as long as O'Brien's the coach, you won't hear me defending them. I'll just say it that way. The Rockets, man, they're trying. I can give them that.
it's time, but it's yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
It's
it's
tough.
tough.
A lot of
It's gonna be the same old result in the end. I mean, they'll get close, but no cigar. I don't see them winning the championship with that duo. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, again, I can give them the respect for doing something. A lot of teams have said, especially with Golden State, making their run these past couple of years, is just kind of like, oh, we're just gonna pack it in and wait for Golden State to get out the way, rather than trying. And the Rockets and then the team that LeBron was on really have been the only teams, and the Spurs. I'll give the Spurs that too. Have been the only teams really who have said, you know what, we're gonna try. The Warriors, maybe the Warriors, but we're gonna give it our all. And if they beat us, so be it. And, everybody else kind of just, okay, let's rebuild for when the Warriors are out of the way, which only makes it easier for them. I mean, you gotta at least, you know, put some effort towards winning.
yeah, yeah.
Very, very interesting. But I mean, that's a wrap for us today. We appreciate everybody tuning in. My boy Nick, I appreciate you, my brother.
Fine,
Just on YouTube and all of the platforms streaming podcasts. Appreciate it.
all right.